Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, my friend and I recently took a 1,000-mile road trip.
Did you take turns driving?
Of course we did. It would have been pretty difficult driving in a straight line the whole way.
Huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Star Wars Battle of Hoth, the two-board scenario from Days of Wonder. So, ladies and gentlemen, I recently received the second board, a second copy of Battle of Hoth that allows me to do the Scenario 18 Assault on Hoth game. Now, this is like a mega version of the Assault on Hoth game. Scenario 18, you flip the boards over so that they create one big board. And what's happening here is this is kind of the ultimate moment from Empire Strikes Back as the Empire is making their assault on the base. Now, there's a lot of special rules here. For instance, you each have 6 command cards in this scenario showing at all times, and you are going for 10 victory medals. The first player to get to 10 victory medals wins the game. Now, for the rebels, what they can do is they're trying to hold out for as long as they can to allow the transports to get away. So at the end of every one of your turns, you're going to take a rebel token. Now, as soon as you have 4 rebel tokens on your turn, instead of taking a regular action, you can essentially spend them to place one of those rebel tokens on your victory side. So they count as a medal for the purposes of the game. And you can keep doing that throughout the game. But as soon as you get to 4 victory medals, you can't keep collecting. You get to 4 and you stop. So there's a question, and there's that kind of tension of when exactly to spend that medal. Do you need to hit somebody on the board, or do you need to spend that medal to get the point at that moment? So that's one of the rules of the scenario. Then, of course, for the Empire, they are trying to hit the ion cannon and the 2 shield generators. Now, they hit those with a blast. If they can take them out, that will immediately score 2 victory medals for the Empire. Now, this scenario takes up most of the troopers and vehicles from both sets. I think just about every tile is used in this game as well, in the scenario as well. So Ray and I sat down to play it the other night. Now, I've just played through this scenario once. I'm looking forward to playing it again because I'll tell you right now, it was awesome. We're playing this game, and you really get a grander scale of the base game. Now, I love the single game and the scenarios and those boards. I have a lot of fun with it. But man alive, this is great. It is a longer game, as you can imagine, but you feel like there's more stuff you can do. And the battle, you can feel the ebb and the flow of battle to a much greater extent when you have these many units on the board. But it's also fun because you have more choices. As I say, you have the 6 cards out in front of you, and you really sometimes you still get stuck with bad hands, but you really do have a lot. You do feel like there's a lot more you can do and a lot more choices, generally speaking, when you have all of those cards out there. The Empire comes to the Rebels with 5 walkers. They've got 5 walkers on the board. And as the Rebels, which I played, if you're seeing that coming at you, that is scary because if you played the game, you know how difficult it is to take down walkers. I actually did. The first kill I made in that game was I took down one of his walkers. But that is always fun. That dice roll and the confirmation is always so much fun. I love, love, love that aspect of the game. But as we're playing the game, Ray, he's like hitting me on. He comes at me on my right, on his left, and I was able to. I had a scout there that was able to kind of give me an advantage in shooting at his guys, and that made him kind of timid. So he started to kind of pull back on the left, and then he comes at me at the right, and on his right, my left, and you almost had a kind of a Pickett's charge thing going because his guys had to cross some open ground, and I was able to just decimate him as they're coming. But he keeps sending guys forward, and I was able to hold a bath. Eventually, he pushes me back, but not far enough. And he tried some smaller assaults in the center, and I was able to largely hold there. But critically, I was able to get, I think, 2 of those transports getting away tokens for my victory medals, and that helped me out a lot in the game. I got to tell you, I love Battle of Hoth. I love Memoir 44. I love the Overlord version of Memoir 44. I'd love if they did an Overlord version here. And I love this scenario, this giant scenario, this epic scenario for Battle of Hoth with the 2 boards. There's just the one scenario, but there is, I know on the back of the scenario book, there's a thing for a scenario editor where people can create and share scenarios. And I hope, too, we do get some officially sanctioned scenarios from Days of Wonder, because honestly, I would love to see new scenarios with this double board, with the double boards, because man alive, this is so much fun. My only complaint is when you have the 2 boards, I don't know that there's a way to keep track of the tiles easily, right? Might have to put like a little marker or something on one set of them just to keep them straight. But I don't know. I may just keep them all in one thing ultimately, and just know whenever I play this game, I'll take both sets. Anyway, that's probably my only complaint about having the 2 boards. The game is not inexpensive, and I don't want to be telling people you need to get 2 boards, but man alive, I got to tell you, this is the way to play the game. To me, this game with the 2 boards, with the more options, with the bigger kill counts and what have you, is just epic. It feels epic. It feels so much fun. I love it. So while certainly you could just have the core game and have a lot of fun with that, which I have, I think this is the way to play. This is the way the game is meant to be played, in my opinion. So I'll tell you right now, with the 2 boards, this is a 10 on the Cody scale for me. That's how much fun this is. A 10 out of 10. I love it. Looking forward to seeing some of those new scenarios. I think it's just going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, on X. We really love to hear from you. I'd also ask you to go ahead and check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history, fun things like that. And if you do really enjoy the content you see here on The Discriminating Gamer, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. How can you tell the gender of an ant? Put it in water. If it sinks, it's a girl ant. If it floats, it's... Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight. Okay, got one. Yes! Got him. Yes! Good victory.